So a few weeks ago, Sennheiser announced their new entry-level CX earbuds. Now personally, I love how these earbuds sound, and personally, I think these earbuds sound better than the Momentum 2s because they have much richer bass response. But unfortunately, the CX is really compromised on features. But then, out of nowhere, Sennheiser announced their new CX Plus. And these earbuds have everything that I was asking for from the base CXs. Now regarding pricing, the CX Plus retail for $180, which I feel is reasonable, especially because of how good these earbuds sound. But for comparison's sake, the base CXs retail for $130 and the Sennheiser Momentum 2s, which I feel are about to get an upgrade, retail for $300, but they can currently be found on sale for $200. Nonetheless, if you want to pick any of these earbuds up, they'll be linked down below. Now first, let's talk about this case. Now the CX Plus have the same case as the base CXs. It's a plastic case with a slightly powdered feeling outside. But the important thing here is that this case is noticeably smaller than the Momentum 2's case. So the CX Plus are going to be much less noticeable when they're in your pocket, which is great for everyday carry earbuds. And from a build quality standpoint, the lid on this case gives you a very satisfying snap when you open and close it, and the magnets in this case are decently strong as well, making it very easy to take your earbuds out and put them back in. Overall, I like this case, and like I've said in the past, I really hope that the future Momentum 3s will have a similar case to this. Now, when it comes to battery life, the CX Plus have an advertised combined battery life of 24 hours with their active noise cancellation turned off. The earbuds themselves can go for 8 straight hours, and the case can supply 2 additional charges. Now, a combined battery life of 24 hours is average, but keep in mind, if you were to use these earbuds with their active noise cancellation turned on, that is going to drain their battery life much faster. Personally, I am getting a combined battery life of around 15 hours. But for comparison's sake, the base CXs have an advertised combined battery life of 27 hours, and the Momentum 2s have an advertised combined battery life of 28 hours with their active noise cancellation turned off. So overall, all of these earbuds are in the same ballpark when it comes to battery life. Now, when it comes to actually charging in this case, the CX Plus charges via a USB-C port, just like all of these other earbuds, and just as it should. But unfortunately, this case still doesn't have wireless charging. Now, personally, I don't really care for wireless charging on my earbuds, but I do want to point it out, either for the people that have a phone that supports power sharing, or if you've already invested in a few wireless charging mats. And I'm just saying, wireless charging for earbuds in this price range is starting to become a very standard feature. But now let's talk about the earbuds themselves. Regarding scopes, the CX Plus are very similar to the base CXs, except they are a little smaller. Now, I don't think that you're going to notice right off the bat, but I thought I would still point it out. Now, when it comes to fit, the CX Plus fit like your standard pair of in-ear earbuds, as in they go into your ear canals a decent amount, like let's say the Galaxy Buds 2, Jabra Elite 3s, or Sennheiser Momentum 2s. The CX Plus aren't shallow fitting, like let's say the Beats Studio Buds or Jabra Elite 85Ts. Overall, fits is very subjective, but the CX Plus fit fine for a pair of standard in-ear earbuds. They have good lockdown and they passively block out noise. But yes, they do feel a little more intrusive than your AirPods Pro or Jabra Elite 85Ts if you're not used to in-ear earbuds. However, you can easily wear the CX Plus for hours on end because their silicone ear tips don't get itchy, like let's say the foam ear tips that you'll find on the Sony WF-1000 XM4s. But overall, I would mainly recommend these earbuds for casual use and not so much for working out. But really quickly, I do want to address a small detail about these earbuds, and that's their looks. Personally, I really dig the flat color scheme the base CXs are rocking. I think it looks very subtle and very clean. Whereas the CX Plus have glossy touchpads. I think Sennheiser should have kept the flat colorway found on the base CXs and should have only chromed out the logo on the Plus. I just think that would look much cooler. But when it comes to connectivity, this is a very important detail on both CXs. Now, on both the base CXs and CX Plus, each earbud establishes a connection with your phone. So if you just want to use one earbud at a time, you can use either one, it doesn't matter. And this is the connection setup that we expect to see from our earbuds nowadays. Whereas with the Momentum 2s, these earbuds are still using a Hero and Sidekick setup, meaning that one earbud, the Hero earbud, in this case the right earbud, actually establishes a connection with your phone and then relays that connection over to the other earbud. So if you just want to use one earbud at a time, you got to use the correct earbud, or in this case, the right earbud, the Hero earbud. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with earbuds that are still using a Hero and Sidekick setup, but earbuds that are still using a Hero and Sidekick setup in 2021 are usually older or last gen or just cheaper. Nowadays, we do want to see each earbud independently establish a connection with your phone. However, for my power users, the CX Plus are better suited to be used with one primary device. Unfortunately, these earbuds can't be connected to one device at a time, and if you want to switch from one device to another, you either got to unpair them from your original device and then go over to your other device, or you're going to have to open Sennheiser's app and then switch devices from there, which can be a little cumbersome, especially when you compare these earbuds to other earbuds, like let's say the Beats Studio Buds or the Galaxy Buds 2. However, when it comes to performance, these earbuds have zero latency across the board when watching movies or videos on your phone, whether you're using an iPhone or an Android device. And when it comes to audio codecs, the CX Plus has support for SBC, AAC, aptX, and aptX Adaptive, whereas the base CXs and Momentum 2s don't have support for aptX Adaptive. But now let's talk about actually listening to music with these earbuds. Like I mentioned in the past, the Sennheiser Momentum 2s were my favorite sounding earbuds, closely followed by the Galaxy Buds Pro. But everything changed when the CXs came out. The base CXs sound just as open and have the same great instrument separation as the Sennheiser Momentum 2s, but the main differentiating factor is that the CXs have much more hard-hitting and deeper resonating bass than the Momentum 2s, leading to a much more fun, but still very well-balanced listening experience. And the CX Plus sound identical to the base CXs, which isn't a bad thing. Now, out of the box, both CXs sound a little warmer than the Momentum 2s. Their stock EQ has more bass to it, and the highs are a little more relaxed. But if you want to, you can always go into these earbuds app, which works both on Android and iOS. Here's looking at you, Galaxy Buds 2 and Galaxy Buds Pro. So if you want a more neutral or vocals-focused EQ, you can do that. Now, overall, I like how these earbuds sound with their stock EQ, but these earbuds really can please everyone. If you want detail and instrument separation, the CX Plus have you covered, and if you want bass, the CX Plus also have you covered. They even have the potential to have even more bass than the Beats Studio Buds, which are already a pair of bass-heavy earbuds. Now, when it comes to your media controls, just like before, the CX Plus are using touchpads, and these touchpads are strictly tap-based, meaning that there are no swiping gestures. Overall, these touchpads are very accurate and they're easy to use. You got full control over your media, and you can also adjust the volume from the earbuds themselves. And through Sennheiser's app, you can adjust the layout of your controls to your liking. However, if you're an Android user, just keep in mind that these earbuds don't have Hey Google support, meaning that the only way that you can activate your voice assistant with these earbuds is through tapping and holding on their touchpad. However, regarding media controls, there is one major difference that I do got to point out here from the base CXs, and that's that the CX Plus do in fact have proximity sensors, meaning that these earbuds will automatically pause your music if you take one or both earbuds out of your ears. Now, I know this sounds basic, but I do got to point it out because both the base CXs and Beats Studio Buds don't have proximity sensors, and this is a feature that you really miss when you don't have it anymore. But now let's talk about the active noise cancellation on these earbuds. Now, right off the bat, I am going to have to say that these earbuds don't block out anywhere near as much noise as the big boys. Because when it comes to ranking, there are the Sony WF-1000 XM4s, which block out the most amount of noise here, albeit they do have an advantage because of their itchy foam ear tips. Below them are the Jabra Elite 85Ts, which also block out a ton of noise while being more comfortable, so personally I do prefer them. Below them are the AirPods Pro and Sennheiser Momentum 2s, which I feel are neck and neck, and below them are the Galaxy Buds Pro. Now, below the Galaxy Buds Pro are the Beats Studio Buds. Below them are the Galaxy Buds 2, and below them are the CX Plus. Now, overall, the CX Plus do block out some noise, but not a lot, and they mainly just block out constant low-frequency sounds like the hum of an AC unit. So overall, I wouldn't pick up the CX Plus if ANC is a very high priority for you. But like I mentioned in the past, I only use the ANC on my earbuds when I have to, and what's really important to me is the quality of their ambient mode. Now, the CX Plus have a good sounding ambient mode, and I do feel that it sounds better than the ambient mode found on the Momentum 2s. However, the ambient mode on these earbuds is a little amplified, so things are going to sound a little louder than in real life, which some people might like and others not so much. And unfortunately, you can't adjust the loudness of the ambient mode on these earbuds through their app, so I really hope Sennheiser adds that through a future firmware update. But overall, these earbuds do have a good sounding ambient mode. My only critique is that the microphone array on these earbuds can pick up a noticeable amount of wind noise if you're walking outdoors, but mainly just on a windy day. But now here's the microphone test. Now in a quiet room, the CX Plus sound pretty good and they sound fairly natural. Whereas with the bass CXs, I do feel these sound noticeably more robotic. But personally, I do feel that the microphone on the Momentum 2 sound better than the microphone found on the CX Plus, specifically because there's a lot more amplification on my voice, which personally I do like. But also, the Sennheiser Momentum 2s do the best job here of dealing with chatter, meaning that you're going to have a little bit more flexibility when it comes to taking phone calls in a noisier environment. Whereas the CX Plus don't block out as much chatter. And the bass CXs are just really struggling here. So overall, the CX Plus have a decent enough sounding microphone, but personally, I would rather try to take phone calls with them in a quieter environment. So, like I mentioned at the top of this video, I did not see the CX Plus coming, but I'm really glad that they're here. These earbuds truly sound amazing at a price that really won't break the bank. And whether you like a bass-heavy EQ or neutral EQ, these earbuds can do it all. Now, to be blunt, the ANC on these earbuds doesn't block out a whole lot of noise compared to other earbuds in this similar price range, like either the Beats Studio Buds or Galaxy Buds 2. However, the ambient mode on these earbuds is good, making them great for when you are walking around the city, which I feel is more important. But nonetheless, if you're looking for earbuds and sound is your main priority, I think these are my top pick, especially in this price range. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit that like button and get subscribed. It helps out more than you realize. If you want to pick any of the products up mentioned in this video, those will be linked in the description down below, and you can also support the channel by checking out the merch store. But other than that, I'll catch you next time.